What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. Walmart is blocking bots from buying PS5s. People are getting demoted in the military because they are skipping stuff to buy a PS5. Microsoft's Flight Simulator 2021, the December update, and some Nintendo news about the 35th anniversary and Super Mario 3D All-Stars. But before we jump into that, if you're new here and you enjoyed what you see throughout this video, I would really appreciate you hitting that red subscribe button to help grow this community. And as this community continues to grow, it'll be really awesome to have some cool conversations in the comments below. But for now, let's jump into this. So some good news for scalping out there for people who are annoyed of the scalpers buying up all of the consoles. As we've seen recently, that there are groups out there that have been making millions and millions of dollars using bots to swoop up all of the PlayStation 5s and the Xbox Series X's. And people were getting frustrated and wondering if companies, if stores were going to do anything to stop these bots, including myself. And I have said in previous videos that I didn't think that these stores or these companies cared at all about the bots buying up all of the PS5s and Xbox Series X's, because they just wanted to sell their stock and they are still making their money and it's still increasing their bottom line. But hey, it looks like I was wrong on this, as Walmart is saying that it has blocked over 20 million bot attempts to purchase PS5s. So this is great news if you're somebody who still is looking for a PS5. At least they're doing something to try and stop those bots. I mean, it's still pretty impossible to get, but at least there is some sort of measure out there. So Walmart's Chief Information Security Officer, Jerry Geisler, has revealed that the retailer has blocked over 20 million attempts by bots to mass purchase the PlayStation 5. It also says retailers have often been criticized for not doing enough to block scalpers, resulting in Geisler penning the unusual letter. And I was one of those people that didn't think that they were ever going to do anything, so it's good to see that they are doing this. And here is what he says in that letter. Bot scripts are constantly evolving and being rewritten, so we've built, deployed, and are continuously updating our own bot detection tools, allowing us to successfully block the vast majority of bots we see. As an additional step, we also audit and quickly cancel any orders confirmed to be purchased by bots that maybe have slipped through. As a result, the vast majority of our next-gen consoles have been purchased by legitimate customers, which is exactly what we want. And that's awesome to hear. So they are actually canceling orders who may have been purchased by bots. And that just shows just how many bots there are actually out there and how many they actually have to track and how hard it is to actually stop all of these bots from buying consoles, because there are still a bunch getting through, obviously. But it looks like from what he is saying, at least at Walmart, that is, most of the consoles have been purchased by legitimate customers. That just also speaks to the demand of the PlayStation 5 and how popular it is and how hard it is to get when it's even just humans going against humans trying to purchase these things. I've heard so many different stories of people having the PS5 in their carts and then disappearing, or having it all in their carts, putting all their processing and payment information and then it not going through, and then eventually realizing that now it says it's sold out. So there's been a lot of stuff with trying to get these consoles, and honestly, like I've said in previous videos, wait until they're readily available. I'm thinking February, March time there'll be more readily available, and then you're gonna be able to get one a lot easier, and you're not gonna have to worry about scalping or potentially paying more than MSRP for it and stuff like that. Because in reality, these consoles are great value for what they are priced at MSRP, but if you're going ahead and you're spending $1,000 on a PS5 or an Xbox, you're losing all that value. So what is even the point? And there is nothing to really go out and run out and buy these consoles for right now. That's just the truth. I mean, yes, you get a way better experience. Yes, you get 60 FPS, the graphics look better, but waiting another couple of months isn't going to be the end of the world to get those experiences, because you're going to have many years and brand new games and everything coming out down the line, and the best isn't even close to have arrived with those consoles. So Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is one of the most intriguing games I think that has come out recently, with just the way that it looks, with it being a flight simulator game and the actual technology that it's using with Azure and everything to get the amazing looking graphics that pretty much are looking photorealistic. They recently just won the best simulation game at the Game Awards, and they announced that the game is coming to the Xbox Series X in the summer of 2021. Now, with all of the success of the game, another update is coming, and that is coming on December 22nd, which will launch alongside the VR update, which to me sounds insane to be able to play this game in VR, and just because of how realistic it looks. I would love to experience Flight Simulator 2020 in VR on a really good high-end headset and just have everything super clear. I think it would be a pretty incredible experience. So besides that VR update, everyone will also receive a unique Microsoft Flight Simulator themed livery for the entire launch plane fleet, and simmers will be able to fly with the same cute dog themed liveries that Rufus and Sam flew in their pits special. And finally, there'll also be an update which will add real-time snow and true-to-life ice coverage to the entire planet. That's crazy. I think seeing snow and ice as you're flying through in this game is going to add just such a dynamic element, especially if you're flying through mountains and stuff. I think it's going to be super cool. This is a game that I would one day want to just get a really high-end VR headset to be able to experience it. And it's also coming to the Xbox Series X in summer of 2021. So if you're somebody who has a Series X and Microsoft Flight Simulator is a game that you would enjoy, you're going to be getting it relatively soon. So this next one is actually really comical, and this has to do with the United States Space Force and a member of the United States Space Force who got demoted because instead of showing up to their fitness class, they went out and tried to get a PlayStation 5. So this saying here, a soldier of the United States always controversial Space Force has been demoted for ditching drills in order to acquire a PS5. So they showed up 30 minutes late for their fitness lesson because they are apparently out scouring a nearby target trying to find a PS5, and we also know how pretty much impossible it is to get a PS5. So this person not only went to try to get PS5s, but probably wasted their time because there's no indication in this article whether they got one. I'm guessing they didn't get one, but they got a text telling them they had to come to the fitness class, or they got information that they had to go, and they replied, YOLO, PS5 better than letters of discipline. So that's, I don't know, that's pretty funny. So this was all coming off of Facebook, so it's not 100% confirmed that this is actually a true story. And it said, you were late to work and insinuated to your supervisor that buying a PlayStation was more important to you than the disciplinary consequences of your action. But we can see here that the actual letter and the document and the authenticity of it on Facebook looks to be very similar to what somebody in the United States Space Force actually would receive. Yeah, this is just pretty crazy that somebody would risk their job and their well-being just to get a chance at getting a PlayStation 5, and we know just how hard it is to get, so the percentage of actually getting one is probably very, very low. I would be really interested to see if this person actually acquired the PS5. I have a feeling that they didn't, and they did all of this for nothing. So this next story has to do with Nintendo. Now, I know I haven't covered too much Nintendo stuff on this channel, and I may start talking more and more about it as interesting stuff comes out, because I think with the Nintendo Switch, 2021 is going to be a pretty massive year with game releases. At least I'm hoping. I thought 2020 was relatively lackluster for it, but let me know if you guys want to see some more Nintendo news, more Nintendo content on here. I think there's always some interesting stuff going on. But if you remember, if you have a Nintendo Switch, or you were following it when they released that 35th anniversary Super Mario All-Stars game on the Nintendo Switch that had a Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Odyssey. And when they announced it, they said that it was only going to be released for a limited of time up until next March. And it looks like they are following through with that. Now, in an interview with Polygon, the Nintendo of America president Doug Bowser had this to say when it came to taking away those games in March of 2021. And he said, yeah, I think I use a simple word, celebration. This is a celebration of Mario's 35th anniversary, and we wanted to celebrate in unique and different ways. And we've done that through games like Super Mario 3D All-Stars, or we will be doing that through future releases such as Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. With some of these titles, we felt it was an opportunity to release them for a limited period of time. They've done very well. Super Mario 3D All-Stars has sold over 2.6 million units in the US alone. Now, this entire strategy was kind of a farce because they made you believe there was going to be such a limited amount of these games on the shelf, so you had to run out and get them right away. But they produced so many of these games. You can go to any store, there's going to be tons on the shelf. At least where I am, every time I go into a Walmart, a Best Buy, an EB Games, or anywhere where video games are sold, I see Super Mario 3D All-Stars on the shelf, and not just one copy, but multiple copies. So this was just a marketing strategy, and it worked really well in the fact that they've already sold $2.6 million. So it's kind of a marketing ploy. They made a ton of money off of just putting those games onto a Nintendo Switch cart. In general, the games are amazing though. Like, a lot of people disliked Super Mario Sunshine, which for me was one of my favorite Super Mario 3D games that came out, because it is nostalgia for me because it was one of my favorite games on the GameCube. But I think that I loved what they did with the game itself, and a lot of people just didn't like some of the changes in the world and the water gun and that kind of stuff, but I really enjoyed it. So it was cool being able to replay those games on the Nintendo Switch, but at the same time, the whole limited Super Mario 3D All-Stars, you must run out and get them now because they're going to be gone March 31st, was just a big marketing thing. But yeah, if you're a collector and you still haven't picked one up, I mean, there is no rush. You still have a couple of months and they'll be on these shelves. But what I do wonder is, all of these stores, when March 31st hits, what are they going to do with the physical inventory? Are they going to discount them? Are they going to send them back to Nintendo? Like, what happens if the stores haven't sold out all of their physical inventory? I have a feeling they're still going to be able to sell them after March 31st. They're just not going to obviously be producing any more. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about all of these things in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Walmart actually doing something about the bots for the PlayStation 5 scalpers. Let me know what you think about the United States Space Force and the employee getting demoted because he decided to try to get a PS5 instead of going to his fitness class. Let me know what you think about Flight Simulator and the update coming out for Xbox Series X in 2021. And finally, let me know what you think about Nintendo and their limited release of that Super Mario 3D All-Stars game, and saying that they actually are going to be cutting it off on March 31st. Thank you guys all for watching. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you subscribing to help grow this community. It really does mean a lot to grow this community, have some great conversations in the comments below, and it'll be awesome as we continue to grow together to have these conversations, continue to follow the news, and just have a great time overall. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you for all your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.